Watching today's winners and losers on Wall Street with our financial expert, Rob Black. Let's start with Apple, Rob, and a little shot in the arm for Apple with China, it seems.
Yeah, it looks like a carrier tied towards China Mobile has started taking some pre-orders on an iPhone in China with the biggest carrier in China. This pushed the stock up over 2% in trading today. Ultimately, it probably really, can't hold that gain per se, but this is a huge market, and obviously, the gold phones, obviously very popular in China. Not sure exactly the love affair with gold, but there appears to be one as far as the tie-in goes. This is good news just if you're a shareholder of Apple. Stock's hitting yearly highs. Stock's not having a bad year like it was throughout most of the first 10 months of the year.
Yeah, things are getting better for Apple once again. And while Black Friday sales numbers weren't that great, as far as Cyber Monday, it looks like a real gangbuster numbers coming in here. Big rise.
Yeah, and I don't know, the direction I want to take on this, obviously, is a secondary one, but 1 in 3 purchases on Cyber Monday was a mobile phone or a tablet.
That's the big take, isn't it?
Which obviously Apple's a big winner on. For me, I think the big story is I don't like people. I don't like going to malls. There was a shooting at a Portland mall a couple years ago or last year. I think people don't feel really safe going out in malls unless they have to. I know that's a super big stretch of the imagination there, but we talk about retail sales this year, and they're doing great. The physical retail sales, not so much. The companies like Nordstrom's, they've figured out online. So Cyber Monday big with Facebook, with Twitter, with Pinterest, with Instagram. I like the shopping angle in America. That's good. I do think that the foot traffic at malls is going to be declining year over year for the foreseeable future, because I just think people would prefer to stay in the comfort of their own home.
It certainly seems easier, doesn't it?
And safer.
Yeah. Auto sales, things getting better. You always talk about how our fleet is so old. Was it 7.5 years on average? So it seems like people are finally getting up the courage and maybe have jobs again, and people are buying cars.
And these are kind of bogus, but also,
they are. Okay.
But also great numbers. November looked great, but that was because October looked bad. In October, we had the government shutdown issues, we had budget issues, so people didn't go out and buy cars. Now we're feeling a little bit more confident, so people are going out and buying cars and trucks. November U.S. sales pushing 15.75 million annual units per year. Everyone is a winner here. GM, Nissan, Ford, Chevy in particular, great numbers year over year. There was a lot of incentives, $2,500 per vehicle on average. I like the story because our economy, we have to have autos working, we have to have housing working, and when they work, the rest of the economy falls into place, so it's nice to see.
And what about RVs? You have to have RVs working? I mean, it was really tough times for the RV industry through this recession, especially with gas prices, and now those are down, and now RV sales picking up again. Is that a good sign in economic times?
6% year over year higher growth in sales. I'm going to be one of those retirees. As soon as I'm done at KRON, I'm getting an RV, and I'm going to go across the country in it. I'm going to use my Roth IRA, which doesn't have taxes tied towards it, to buy a big ticket purchase like this. I like the idea of a fifth wheel. I like the idea of America's not theme parks, but national parks. I think it's a good way of living. It's a good way of unplugging. It's dominant to see. It's an $11 billion industry, primarily built in Indiana. So confidence is back. Boomers are retiring. Boomers are traveling to see their grandkids in RVs.
And you talk about Roths, and that's something you can convert, right? You can convert some of your traditionals to Roths, pay taxes now, but then not pay them at retirement time.
Right.
Do you like those?
I do like the concept. It's not for everyone. If you're going to be a big spender in retirement, I would consider converting an IRA to a Roth IRA if you have the taxes now. Because like I said, when I spend that $100,000 on an RV when I retire, the angle is I don't want to spend $130,000 to get $100,000, $30,000 in taxes to the federal government. So the Roth makes a lot of sense if you're going to be buying big ticket purchases in retirement.
That's a fancy RV. Thank you, Rob.
I roll with style.
I know you do. And you catch Rob Black segments in the KRON 4 Morning News, as well as on our new KRON 4 app. And if you have a question for Rob, post it on his Facebook fan page, and we'll answer it here on KRON 4. We'll be right back.